Okay, we're live. Yay! All right, so hopefully you guys will be able to find me. I know that last week we had a problem with you being able to log on to my live until you got a notification. Some of you didn't get the notification until halfway through my live stream. So I'm hoping that that does not happen this time. I'm trying to reach a number. I have a goal on my YouTube channel, Sponge and Stamp with Tina, because once I reach that goal, then I will be able to go live on YouTube and not on Facebook. So, well, I still can go live on Facebook, but I would much rather do YouTube lives. Hi, Chris. So I need your help on that. So when you guys see me post a link to my YouTube channel, or hey, Carol, or you could just go to my YouTube, Sponge and Stamp with Tina, and subscribe to my channel. That would help me immensely. Also, when you give me a thumbs up on YouTube, and you comment, that helps me too. That shows YouTube that there's interest, so they'll be more willing to share my videos to other people on YouTube. So I'm really trying to build that community, so that would really help me a lot. So I'm so glad that you guys are here today. Thank you for joining me. I'm so excited. I always am when I come live with you guys. It's so much fun. So I have two really super cute cards to show you. They're pretty easy. We're going to let the designer series paper do most of the work on these cards, but it is super pretty. And we're featuring the Jingle 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 stamp set. It's probably backwards, isn't it? Is it backwards for you guys? Let me know. Because if it is, hold on one second, I will fix that. Does that show right? Jingle, jingle, jingle. Okay, so my orientation in my studio is backwards. My window is actually on that side, but you can read it, right? Okay. Hey, Kim, glad to see you on here tonight as well. So anyway, just do me that big favor again, to go to my YouTube channel, Sponge and Stamp with Tina, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done it. And if you're watching already on YouTube and you have subscribed, thank you so very much, and I welcome you to this live as well. Unfortunately, you will be watching the recording, but anyway, it's still fun. So, and please comment, because I read all my comments and I try to answer them, but lately on Facebook, once I close down, I can't see half of my comments. So I know that people commented on there, and when I go to reply to you, I'm not able to. So I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, I know that you guys want to get started, so let's go ahead. I don't think there's any announcements, and if there is, I'll just tell you about it as I remember them. How about that? Okay, so I am going to figure out which camera I need here, because I never know. And let's get some of this stuff out of the way. All right, so I do have samples for you guys tonight. This is the first card that we're going to make. We're using Sweet Sorbet, and for the life of me, I don't remember the name of this designer series paper, even though I have said it a million times. I never can remember. It's the Sweetest Christmas designer series paper. It comes in 12 by 12. You get 12 sheets to each of 6 designs. So we're going to be using this beautiful green. This is Garden Green. But isn't this card so cute? I'm going to show you how easy it is to make this, or at least I think it is. But once you do it for a while, it becomes easier and easier. It's not hard at all. So what we have, I'm going to bring in our pieces here. We have our card base. This is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And excuse the brightness on this again. I don't know why the color is so off on here, but when I post my pictures on my Facebook page, the colors are more true to the right color. So we're just going to fold that on the score line. I'm going to give it a nice, been using my my nails because I've been too lazy to reach over to get my bone folder. So now my nails are curling in. So I don't want to do that no more. Anyway, or anymore. So that's that. So we're going to go ahead. So this is our designer series paper. I do have my measurements written down this time. Hey, hooray for me. Okay, so this designer series paper is 5.25 by 4. And we're just going to adhere that to our card base. So let's go ahead and get some glue out. I'm using Tombow liquid glue. It is my favorite glue because most of the time, now that I said it, it won't do it. But most of the time, it gives me a little bit of wiggle room. So if I don't get something straight, which is most always, I have a little bit of time to wiggle to get it in place most of the time. So anyway, so I'm good with that. So there we go. So that's all you do for that piece. And now for the sentiment part, we have a sweet sorbet layer. This is cut to 2 5/8 by 5.25. Then we have our basic white that we're going to do our stamping on, and this is 5.25 by 2.5. All right, so we're just going to layer that on top of that, but we're going to do our stamping first, just in case we mess up, so that we don't have to throw our layer away too. We can just flip our cardstock over and try again, or just cut a new piece. How about that? All right, so I am going to bring in my stamp, which is already here. This is the Jolly. So what I love about this stamp set is, one is because the font is so big, and it's a basic block style font, but it's big. I love that because that's your focal point. You don't really need a whole lot extra because it's just so fun. And then what I really love too is, if you look, you can do it where you can color in the letters yourself, or, which I'll show you on the next card, how you can put this believe inside of that believe, and you can kind of like make a shadowy kind of effect. I'm struggling for the right words for that, but you'll see in the next card. But isn't that so fun? And then it's got little sentiments. 'Tis the season to be jolly. And then we have believe in the magic. And then jingled all the way. So I just love this stamp set. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so, but what I didn't bring over was our inks. And that's what I didn't bring over. So we need Sweet Sorbet. And I may have to put my glasses on so I can read these colors. Sweet Sorbet, I believe I used Garden Green. Colors that I use, because I think that's Crushed Curry, Sweet Sorbet, Garden Green, and I use 90/80, I believe. Okay, so there we go. Got it. Oh, and I need Memento. So we have Memento. Let me move this keyboard out of the way. So we have Memento. I'm also going to be using my Wink of Stella too for doing some coloring with that. And also to give the lights a glitter, and the Santa hat, the white part, the fluffy ball. Hey, Lynette, glad you're here. The little fluffy pom-pom on the end, and then the band on his hat. We're gonna put some Wink of Stella on that too. I'm gonna bring over some scrap paper as well. Really, it's just computer paper, but so we got that going on. All right. And then I'm pretty sure I inked this up good. Let's do it a little bit more. All right, so I want this to come down. You know what? I don't remember how I did this. Okay. Back up. We are going to do the lights first. We're going to do the Christmas tree lights first. I had to remember how I did this so that I can make sure that everything is pretty much where I want it to go. So all I'm going to do is just, I don't know if you can see it on here. Flip over, got black ink. Okay, so you just kind of guesstimate about where you want it. And I know that I kind of want it to go off this edges of the cardstock. So I'm going to ink up again. And then I'm going to do the same thing to this side. And I want it right about there. Okay, so that's good. I'm okay with that. Now I'm going to do 'Tis the Season. No, I'm going to do Jolly. We're going to do Jolly because I want room to put my hat on. So I'm going to put it right about here. Hope and pray that it's straight because I'm kind of brushing a little bit and I don't know why I'm doing that. Okay, so we've got that. Now we're going to do the hat. So the hat we're going to do the hat in Memento Black, Tuxedo Black. I'm going to put that right on the O, right on top of the O. So one of the things that I love about the photopolymer is that you can see through it pretty much. I'm sorry if I put my head in the camera, but I'm just trying to see where I'm putting my Santa hat. So right about there. So I'm good with that. Now I'm going to come in with the filler part. So, and you don't have to use the filler stamp. I do because it's easy, but you can take a marker and color it if you wanted to, but it lines up pretty well. Hopefully I can do this. Well, I was off just a teeny bit, but it's all right. We'll go up. It's okay. All right. So matter of fact, that will bother me. It shouldn't, but it will. It will bother me. Because I don't really want to mess up on live. I am looking for something. I don't have one over here. Well, we're just going to leave it. It's okay. It's okay. All right. So now what we're going to do is I want to get a little bit of this, which I have some in the lid of this. So we're okay there. Oh, I need to stamp the sentiment. So I've got the sentiment, and this is 'Tis the Season to be jolly. Aw, thanks, Chris. All right. So now we're going to put 'Tis the Season right about here. Hopefully it's straight. I can't see. I'm going to bring this in a little closer to me, guys, okay? So I can kind of sort of see. I think I'm straight. I hope I'm straight. Okay, there we go. Now this is where the Wink Stella is going to come in. I'm going to put the lid back on our Memento because we don't need that. I am going to open up our blue, Nighted Navy, Sweet Sorbet, and Garden Green, and yellow. I forgot the yellow. Okay, we're going to use crushed curry. And I should have some in that lid, which I do not. So in this, I don't want that to get in my ink pad. So what you can do is you can also ink up a block and put some color on the block too. So that will work. I think that's good. Okay, so now I'm going to take the yellow. I'm going to get some of this going here. Let me shake this a little, make sure it's all nice. Hi, Alice. Thanks for joining. Welcome, welcome. So I am going to get this to get it flowing. I don't want to squeeze too hard, too fast, because then it will like ooze out on me like that. Anyway, so I'm just going to pick up this yellow. And I got way too much. Let's see here. I'm trying to dab some of it off. All right, so we got the yellow. I'm also going to put my glasses on because I really cannot see what I'm doing. Okay, so I know that I have another yellow over here. Here we go. That's better. And then I have, let's see, I am going to do yellow here. Oh, it's really coming out too much. See, I squished it too much. Squeezed it too much. Oh, come on. Uh-oh. We got a mess going on here. We might just cut this and redo this because that is going to really bug me. And yeah, that looks like a blotch. Sorry guys, I messed that one up. Okay, we're going to cut that. So, but that won't take but a second, and then we'll restamp it. Lickety split. Let's see. What was my measurement on that one? That one was 5 1/4 by 2 1/2. 5 1/4 by 2 1/2. Okay. It's brand new Stella. So like if you squeeze it just a little too hard, it's just going to come out fast. So I'm going to get rid of this too so I don't get that all over everything. All right. Let's try this again. Get my scrap piece of paper out. All right. So we are going to stamp our Christmas lights right across here like that. Oops, I didn't get that all the way across. It is all right. What will go wrong on a live most definitely will. I'm okay with that. All right, so let's go ahead and ink our Jolly Up in Sweet Sorbet. And I'm going to stamp that right about there. And now I'm not stamping straight. Okay, and then we're going to do our hat. We're going to do our hat in here we go. In Memento. And then we're going to do our sentiment. 'Tis the season to be. Jolly. All right, so now we're done with the mementos. So we're going to put that up, and let's bring in our hat filler. Maybe I can get this right this time. Oh, okay. Now, let's try this again. All right, so let's bring in our yellow. And wow, I stamped that. I was heavy-handed on that one. And then our yellow. And I'm just going to wipe this clean until you see no more yellow. And then I'm going to do the red, the Sweet Sorbet. So I'm going to come in with some Sweet Sorbet. And there we go. And I'm going to wipe that clean. And I'm going to do some garden green. We'll wipe that clean. And then we're going to do some Night of Navy. So, there we go. Then we're going to come over here. And I'm going to start with Sweet Sorbet. And garden green. And Night of Navy. So I told you guys this is really an easy card to do, and then what did I do? I went and flubbed it up. But it really is easy. It was all my fault because I squeezed the Wink Stella just too hard. I knew I did. All right, and then we're going to end with real red. Not real red, Sweet Sorbet. All right, and then we're going to clean this off because I don't want any gook on there. And we're going to do the little Santa band here and the little puffball pom-pom. So let me bring that up to you guys. Can you see the glitter on that? Isn't that pretty? So I think that's so pretty. All right, so that is that. So now it is just to assemble that. See, so it was pretty easy once I got my Wink of Stella working right. Thanks, Chris. Are these rubber stamps from Stampin' Up? Yes, Alice, they are. Oh, I'm glad that you love this. Okay, so now we're just going to adhere that. So I'm going to bring in some of my liquid glue. And I'm just going to put it on that. And then we're going to try to center this the best we can on here. Just like that. I'm good with that. Hopefully it's all dry, which it wasn't because I just smudged it, but it's all right. Okay, and now we're going to pop this up. So we need some dimensionals. So let me get some of those out. I guess I used all the ones earlier on. I had to do a whole stack of thank you cards. So I think I used all that I had sitting out. Okay. So we are going to just take this and we're going to pop this up there. Okay. And I am over just a tiny bit. So if you do that, you can trim it or you can leave it alone. Depends if it bothers you or not. It's really not a big deal at all, but for me, it does bother me, but I also can't really see very well, even with my glasses on. I'm going to have to break down and go. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, because I can see it. I'm going to have to break down and go to the optometrist, I guess. I don't want to. All right, so I'm going to make sure that I'm putting it the right side. I have done things where they're upside down. So, okay, so we are going to go right in the center of this, just like that. And then we have a card that is done. So that was pretty easy. You can do the inside piece. We have an inside piece, and this is, I believe, I didn't write this measurement down. I believe this is 5 1/4 by 4. Yep. Okay, so you can stamp on this, or you can use your designer series paper, which is what we're going to do. I think this is like 3/4 of an inch. Yes, by 5 1/4. And then we're just going to put this down to the bottom. I'm not going to bring it all the way to the bottom. I'm going to go up about 1/8 of an inch, maybe 1/4 of an inch up. And if you hear talking, that is my son and my husband in the back there. They're laughing. So let's go ahead. It's good to hear laughter. All right. Maybe not during my live, but it's good to hear laughter. All right. So, and then you can stamp a sentiment from maybe another stamp set or whatever you want to write. I like to do that before I glue it in, just in case I mess up. That way I don't have to trash the whole card. I can just redo the white part. All right. All right, so there we go. So what do you guys think? Super cute. All right, so that's that one. Now the next one is pretty similar. This is it right here. So I actually have brought in the detailed, I think it's detailed pines or the decorated pine dies to cut the leaves and one of the stars out for, not the leaves, pine branches for this card. And again, the DSP is the showstopper, I think anyway. Does most of the work for us. Well, the Believe is the showstopper, but the designer series paper does a lot of the work for us. Okay, so this again is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2 scored at 4 1/4. So it's just a half a piece of cardstock. I know I've been asked this before, and I always forget to show you guys, but let me grab a piece of cardstock right here. Okay, so it's a half a piece of cardstock. It is 8.5 by 11 is the standard size. And then all you do is you put it in your paper trimmer with the landscape side up top, and then you just bring it over to 5.5. You just cut it in half is all you do. And then it gives you 2 card bases. So that's it. Okay, so we've got that. Let's go ahead and we have a layer for this one, which I did not cut my inside piece for this one. Well, it's all right. So this piece here, the designer series paper, let me move this out of the way so you can see a little better, is gonna layer onto a piece of basic white. The basic white is, where's my measurements? It's 5 1/4, so it's 5 1/4 by 4. Then our designer series paper is 5 inches by 3 3/4. And then we have another piece of basic white that we're going to do our stamping on, and that is 1 1/2 by 4 3/4. Okay, and then you're going to need scrap sweet sorbet and scrap garden green, which I've already done. I've cut those out, and I cut the stars out. So we have our little star. Oops, my wood is buckling. It got wet, so it's warped. I'm kidding. Okay, so let me show you what I did. So this is the die set. This is so pretty. I love this die set. I used this one right here to cut out 2 branches, and then I used, which I might not have put it back in here, these little die things right here. There's another one around here. I think it's over there where my die machine, my cutting machine is. Oh wait, is this it right here? Nope, it's this one right here. So all I did was I cut those. So it gave me 3 little stars, but we only need 1. So this is such a fun stamp die set. It coordinates with, and you can purchase it as a bundle with Decorated with Happiness stamp set. So it will cut out these, it will cut those out. It will cut standalone ones like I did. I didn't do it last week. I did it, what, a week before last? And I had a class with them too. Let's see. So it will cut these out right here. And it'll cut the bows. It'll cut your snowflakes. It doesn't do this. This is a separate die. But anyway, so yeah. So it's a fun stamp set too. And let's put that away because I've already die cut those. So we don't need them. I don't want to get ahead of myself because sometimes I do that. All right. So, well, what did I, here it is. Before we assemble this one, I'm going to stamp because if I do it too quickly and I'm rushing myself, I'll forget a step. And it's usually an embellishment, or I'll adhere my paper down when I wanted to wrap ribbon around it first. So Tina's going to take a breath. And we're going to slow down just a little bit. Okay, so this is what I was telling you about, how we're going to block this. So I'm not going to stamp it like that because I'm not coordinated enough to do that. It will throw me off. So I just wanted to have them out. I'm going to go ahead and do the believe. We're going to do the believe. I do not need these colors, so let's get those out of my way. And I believe I used, I either used Coastal Cabana or Pool Party. I'm not sure. I didn't write it down. So I think I used Pool Party. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it was Pool Party. Well, it might have been Coastal Cabana, actually. Let me see. Sorry, guys. Sometimes I just forget some things. Okay, I'm going to stamp off first and see. Maybe it is pool party. Okay, so I just came out of a wonderful ladies Bible study on Zoom. So my mind is still kind of there too. All right, there we go. So it is pool party. I'm going to ink this up. I'm going to stamp this in the center, but up a little bit so that it gives us room to stamp in the magic down below. So I'm going to pull this closer to me. Hopefully you can still see it. See what I'm doing anyway. And I'm going to put this up. And I'm going to stamp that right about there. Okay. Just like so. All right. Now I need to take this one off. And we're going to use the block one. I call it the block one. I don't know. I'm sure there's a name for it, but I just call it the block one. And we're going to stamp or ink that up in Memento black ink. You are so welcome. Oh, thank you for sharing. Oh, thank you very, very much. I so appreciate that. Okay, I just got black all over my fingers. Okay, so I'm going to pull this closer to me. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing. In this card right here, I just tried to outline it the best I can. I'm going to show you, I'm going to do the same thing with this though. I am going to try to outline this. And again, because this is photopolymer, you can see through it. So it's easier to line up. You just kind of have to look at it carefully. Through blind eyes is kind of hard. All right, so I came up just a little too high, but that's all right. So let me show you. I just want to show you how to block, not block it, but here, we'll just use this piece right here. Okay, so let's see. You can do it. No, you know what? I'm going to do it in the same color. And it's easier for me to see what I'm doing if I stamp the pretty one first. I think it's pretty. I love it. I love all the cute little dots and lines and everything in it. I think it's so cool. All right, so I did not get that on there straight. So that's the one thing too, though, is photopolymer. You can shape it. So if you wanted to have a curvature to it, you can make it do that. But so if you want it straight on your block, it's best to just lay it down first and then stick your block on there. If you try to stick it on the stamp, the block like I just did, it will be misshaped. Yes, Kim, laughter is good anytime. Okay, so whoops, I still need this. So you guys, I'm trying to keep up with the comments. So if you have any questions and I don't see it or don't get to answer it, at the end of when I'm done, I'll do a little Q&A so you'll have a chance to ask. Oh, yay, Alice. Yes, share with your friends. So I also have a class coming up too, so you are more than welcome for that as well. All that information is on my Facebook page too. All right, so let's see. Hopefully I did this right. So there. So can you see how it kind of, isn't that cool? So I absolutely love that. This is such a fun stamp set to work with. Okay, so let's go back because I don't want to get too sidetracked or I'll really forget what I'm doing because there's too much going on in my brain. Keep track of everything. That's what I tell myself. Yes, please do, Alice. We would love to have you guys come. Okay, so I am going to stamp down just below to the right in the magic. All right, so now I've already die cut everything. This is ready. We're going to go ahead and adhere our designer series paper to our white layer. And we are going to go well, my classes are in person coming up. I just closed an online class. I do an online class once a month and an in-person class once a month. It is called the Mailbox Card Club. So I just closed that one. But if you live in the area, I live in Middle Georgia in the Byron area, you're more than welcome to come. And if not, just keep an eye out. The best way to be informed of everything that I'm doing as far as classes and stuff like that would be to get on my email list. That way you don't miss anything at all. And I will put that information in the description after the video too. So that would be great. And I got black ink on my finger and I got it on our card, but we're going to pretend that it's not there because this really is, I found my tweezers, my reverse tweezers, and then I lost them again. So I tell you, they kill me. Okay, so we're going to take a glue dot because that works too. And we are going to put a glue dot right about where I want this to be. So I'm thinking I want my bow. Actually, I probably should have put on our sentiment first, but it'll be okay. I'm just going to stick that there. I am going to trim this. I think that's probably enough to make a bow. If not, oh well. All right. We're going to put our leaves on here. And I think I cut these leaves down. I'm pretty sure I did. Okay, so I am going to cut this leaf off. These pine needles. Come on, scissors. I'm going to trim that right there. And then I'm going to come down here and trim that like that. Then save this piece because you can use that on another project. And then I'm just going to stick this. You can stick it where it comes over the top like so, or just like that. I'm going to do like that. So I'm just going to put some glue on here, just like that. And I am going to stick that right there. Okie dokie, and I should have done that on my silicone mat so that we don't stick to the paper. All right, here we go. I got glue on that side. All right, so we're going to do the same thing to this piece here. We're going to take our little scissors in here and cut that right along there and then up here like so. And then we're going to stick some glue on that. And then we're going to do this on this side, just like that. All right, and then we're going to pop this up. So we're going to put some dimensionals because, like I say, everything is cuter popped up. It just looks a little fancier, you know. I am located in Middle Georgia in Byron area, which is in between. You're in Indiana. Well, keep an eye out for my next mailbox club too. I post it on Facebook and I also send emails out on those too. So I'll be doing another one for October. So sometime probably next week or next week and a half, I'll be posting one. Hey, Tony. Nice to see you on here. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to put this right about, you know what? I did do that over that. So that's okay because we can do it just like that. And I put those on a little too far over, but I think it's going to be okay. If not, oh well. That's my motto today. Oh well. It's not anything worth stressing over, right? Hopefully it will fit in our envelope. You do have a little bit of room in your envelope, and then we have not put put it on our card base yet either, and we have a little bit of room on that too. So we're good to go. All right, so tied it up. This is linen thread that I'm using here, so I just wrapped it around both layers, the white and the designer series paper, and tied a little bow. You can always tie a fake bow if you want to. You can double layer your bow too, double loop it if you wanted to. However you want to do it. Sometimes linen thread can be just a teeny bit tricky to work with, so you got to play with it a little bit. All right, so I'm just going to give this a trim, just like so. Then we're going to put this on our card base, and we're going to put our star. And I did forget to cut a layer for the inside of our card, but I can do that real fast too. So, ooh, not the inside. Okay. Just like that. All right. And then we're going to add our star. So I'm going to put our star right here. So I am just going to get a little tiny piece of glue, dab of glue right there. I think I'm going to use my take your pick tool to pick that up so that I can just place it right where I want it. Take my finger, kind of hold that. There we go. Now, just to do the inside of the card, we're going to do the same thing with an extra strip of this designer series paper. This is what is this? This is a 1/4 inch by, this is the same size of this. So it won't go all the way, but it's all right. It won't go edge to edge, but it will be fine. Let me get a piece of white cardstock here. I can also cut that piece smaller so it doesn't have to be as big. So what is the measurement of this? This is, I should know off the top of my head, it's 5 inches by 1/4. So we could just say, well, it's not going to matter if it's off 1/8 of an inch on each side. Or if we want it to go, I am so glad that you do. I'm so glad that you joined us today, Alice. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut this at 5 inches. And then I'm going to cut it at 3 3/4. So our inside piece will be a little smaller, but that is okay. Sometimes we don't need a whole lot of room to write or stamp a sentiment. I know that for me, a lot of times I struggle with what to write inside my card. So if I have a little space, I'm good. All right. It's not because I don't want to write or don't like to write. I just struggle with words sometimes. Oh, thank you. Yeah, he's getting married April 15th. They went and looked at venues yesterday. All right. There we go. So I just went up. I don't even think that's 1/8 of an inch. It might be real close to an eighth of an inch up, but you can do however you want to. You can even take it up the side here if you wanted to. Again, you can stamp your inside piece if you'd like. So like you could stamp candy canes, you could stamp a group of things, anything you wanted to do, whatever your imagination or whatever just strikes your fancy. So you can just do that. And then we're going to go ahead and put this in here. Just like so. You can also make the inside of your cards really fancy by using die cuts as well. Shapes for your sentiments in the inside. All right, so let's do an envelope. I'm not going to do an envelope for both cards, but we will do an envelope. I think I have an extra one without opening. I think I do. Maybe I don't. Well, I guess I'm going to have to open one. Okay, so that's all right. No biggie. Okay, so we have our envelope here. So you can take your designer series paper and you can cut you a piece that would be like to match your coordinating designer paper, and you can cut it to like where I'd say 2.5 to give you some extra room. You don't have to. If you got a piece that's a little smaller than that, that will work. And then I would cut it to at least 6 inches. So cut you a piece like that. Then you could adhere it to your outside of your envelope flap and then just trim around it. And then that would give you a beautiful back to that. Or, oh, you know what we could have done? We could have stuck these up in here too. We could have stuck these up under the designer series paper. Could have used those like that. That would have been really pretty too. All right. Let's go ahead. I wanted to use, we could use this, but what we could do is bring in this stamp set that coordinates with the dies that we used, and we could stamp the sprig on here. So that's what I'm going to do. I am going to pull this out. I'm going to use this big block right here. Oh, look at those. I find these everywhere. I won't even tell you where else I find them. Everywhere. Okay, so I'm going to get some garden green ink. I think I have it over there, don't I? I don't think I put it away. But where is the question? Here it is. Okay, so I got a mess up here. All right. So you can ink this up, and you can, and another thing that when you're stamping with photopolymer, which I did not do tonight, but sometimes if you're having a hard time, especially with your larger images that have more space, if that makes sense, you want to use a padding with that. So I'm going to use my Stampin' Pierce mat, and you can find that in the annual catalog. With everything that I'm using tonight, you can find in either the annual catalog or the mini catalog. And I am messy. Look what I did. I got it on the envelope. Okay. And then you can just stamp. I want a piece of, I want this to be like this because I don't want to get ink on my, you can take it on this side or you can take it on this side. I think I'm going to do this side because you typically put your return address here and then your other address here. So this will give us a little bit more room. So you can do just like that. So you can stamp that on there. Isn't that beautiful? Or if you wanted to, you could even stamp the back of your envelope. You could just stamp this a couple of different times, just like that. So isn't that beautiful? So you could do just like that or like that. And then that coordinates with your card too. So, okay, so that's it. I'm going to scroll through here and kind of answer any questions that I did not get to. We're going to bring in the cards that we made again. So we made the Jolly Jolly. and the Believe tonight. That's what we did. And we used the Jingle Jingle stamp set by Stampin' Up. And I also threw in the Decorated with Happiness for the envelope. And we used the coordinating dies to decorate with happiness, decorated pines too, which I don't know where I put those. So I'm not going to try to find them. Because if you saw my desk right now, you'd say, oh boy. Okay, so let me scroll through here and see if I missed a question and I haven't answered it, go ahead and ask it again. So that I can answer it for you. Your motto, Alice, is whatever. That has been my motto. Whatever. It's okay. It'll be all right. Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you very much, you guys. I'm glad that you love these cards. They're so much fun, and I love sharing them with you. It just brings me so much joy. Yes, Christmas will definitely be here before we know it. Yes, Tony, kids are growing up very fast. I know Vic and I were talking about your kids had to be in the double digits, and we just couldn't place quite how old, but I was pretty close. I was thinking Allie was around 15, but she's 14 and James is 13. Thank you, Tony. Alice, to get a new catalog, I don't have any more of the minis, but I will be ordering them. But I can send you an annual catalog and send you a mini when I get them in. If you will just private message me your address or email me your address. My email is spongenstamp@hotmail.com. And I will be glad to send you some catalogs. Let's see. Thanks, Kim. You're welcome. 8th grade. Wow. Okay. All right. So are there any more questions? If so, go ahead and ask now. Because like I said, once I close out of my streaming, you don't do email, sorry. Okay, so go ahead. Can you private message me on Facebook? Or however you feel comfortable to send me your address so that I can send them to you. Tony, my next class is in-person class is October 3rd. Okay. It is all, I've got it posted on Facebook, and I just sent an email out about it too. So, okay. All right, then. I think that is it. Thank you very much, you guys, for spending I almost said Monday night, but it's Tuesday night, your Tuesday evening with me for a little while, for an hour anyway. I really enjoyed it, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of the week, and I will see you back here, same time, same place next week. Doodly-doo.